Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're taking a highly structured, super high-energy look at the ultimate digital playground. We are exploring the evolution of a franchise that quite literally defined the definitive sandbox experience, what's often just referred to as a gaming style like GTA. So grab your armor, lock your car doors, and get ready, because we're unpacking the evolution of chaos, the GTA Explainer.
Right on the screen here, we have a question. What does freedom mean to a gamer? It's a really fascinating starting point, actually, because, outside of gaming, freedom is this deep, highly philosophical concept. But inside a gaming style like GTA, well, the reality is entirely different. Freedom isn't philosophical at all. It's incredibly tangible. It's the sheer thrill of stealing a chopper, flying completely recklessly over a neon-lit city skyline, and doing absolutely whatever it takes to dodge a 5-star wanted level. That chaotic energy is the absolute core of this experience.
And this brilliantly illustrates a 30-year journey of stolen choppers, neon cities, and of course, those infamous 5-star wanted levels. It's a masterclass in game design. Over the next few minutes, we're going to bridge the gap, tracing this entire path from its chaotic, top-down pixelated madness all the way to what is easily the most anticipated entertainment release of the decade.
Section 1. The 2D Origins Pixelated Pioneers.
Long before we were base jumping off massive 3D skyscrapers, we literally just had pixels. Between 1997 and 1999, original titles like GTA 1, GTA London, and GTA 2 laid the absolute groundwork for the franchise's evolution. They essentially drafted the blueprint and defined the rules of the emergent sandbox we all know today.
Everything in this early 2D era was viewed from a top-down perspective, and the pace was just remarkably rapid and chaotic. In fact, get this, that original 1997 release was almost banned in multiple countries. You were just this tiny pixelated criminal causing absolute mayhem, running over Hare Krishnas for bonus points. But here is a fascinating fact. The hyper-aggressive police in that very first game, they were actually the result of a pathfinding bug. That glitch was so much fun that the developers just kept it, inadvertently giving birth to the chaotic gaming style like GTA we know today. Then we had GTA London in 1999, which is the only time the franchise officially took a trip across the pond. It was groovy but short-lived, and then came GTA 2. This one shifted to a dark futuristic tone and introduced a really foundational respect system. Balancing work for the Yakuza while trying desperately not to anger the Zaibatsu completely set the stage for the faction loyalty mechanics we'd see in later games.
Section 2. The 3D Revolution, the Golden Age.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the incredible jump in ambition. In 2001, Rockstar stepped into the third dimension and completely redefined the entire gaming landscape. They didn't just iterate, they essentially invented a whole new subgenre, where the environment reacts dynamically to the player. These three titles are the undisputed PS2-era kings. First, GTA 3 introduced Claude, our silent protagonist, in a Liberty City that felt wonderfully dirty, genuinely dangerous, and brilliantly alive. Just one single year later, 2002 brought us Vice City, pure, unadulterated 1980s nostalgia. You had Tommy Vercetti, the pastel suits, the neon pinks, the massive empires, and arguably the greatest video game soundtrack ever assembled. Finally, 2004 gave us San Andreas. The scale here was just staggering. We followed CJ into a world packed with RPG mechanics, literal jetpacks, and unforgettable moments like Big Smoke's massive fast food order. We basically went from simply playing a game to essentially living inside a 90s hood movie.
Okay, let's be totally honest for a second here. If you played during this era, I know exactly what you're thinking. Admit it. You still know the cheat codes by heart. Muscle memory is a really powerful thing. Memorizing those vital button combinations for infinite weapons or a quick health boost was basically a survival requirement in this digital playground.
Section 3. Gritty Realism in HD, the Physics Engine.
Hey, Nico, let's go bowling. I mean, if you know, you know. This iconic, famously persistent quote immediately establishes the massive cultural footprint of 2008's GTA 4. The wild arcade era was over, and the franchise was about to take a really dramatic turn towards sobering reality and grounded storytelling. We were back in Liberty City, but this time through the eyes of Niko Bellic. His journey was a deeply emotional, often cynical search for the American dream, which was miles away from the pastel excess of the earlier titles.
And this transition created a really fascinating divide in the community. On one side, you had the arcade chaos of San Andreas. On the other, the sobering realism of GTA 4. Thanks to the incredibly groundbreaking Euphoria physics engine, cars no longer handled like zippy little go-karts. They drove like actual heavy metal. When you hit a curb, you really felt it. Furthermore, pedestrians reacted dynamically to every single bump and nudge thanks to the new ragdoll physics. Now, this realism certainly divided some fans who missed the wacky jetpack chaos, but it absolutely cemented Rockstar as mature, master storytellers.
Moving on to Section 4, the Unstoppable Titan, GTA 5 and Online.
So the crucial point here is the number 3. This sets the stage perfectly for 2013, introducing the game that simply refused to die. 3 protagonists, 3 entire console generations. GTA 5 was an unprecedented leap forward. Instead of just following one character's story, we were suddenly managing the chaotic, intertwined lives of Michael, Franklin, and Trevor all at exactly the same time.
The scale of the GTA 5 phenomenon is just awe-inspiring. First off, they build this sprawling, ridiculously detailed recreation of Southern California. Then, they introduced a heist system that felt exactly like you were directing and playing in your very own interactive action movie. But the real wild card? That was GTA Online. It essentially shifted the whole gaming style, like GTA, from a solo sandbox into a shared, chaotic, live service metaverse. Love it or hate it, millions of players have spent endless hours in this economy, which, by the way, has generated literal billions in revenue, pulling off massive casino heists and grinding endlessly for those infamous flying motorcycles.
Section 5, the Future Horizon, Return to Leonida.
So, all of that monumental success leads us exactly to where we are right now. Every single thing we've discussed today, the top-down origins, the 3D revolution, the gritty realism, and that multi-billion-dollar online economy has carefully set the stage for this. GTA 6 promises a highly anticipated return to Lecanada. We are looking at a modern, social media-fueled, absolutely wild take on Vice City. The expectations resting on this title are truly historic, but when you look back at the 30 years of relentless innovation behind them, it's pretty clear why the hype is so incredibly palpable.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you all with a final thought, a real question. Which GTA game is your absolute favorite of all time? Was it the neon-drenched streets of the 80s? Was it the gritty, heavy realism of Liberty City? Or maybe it's the endless, unpredictable online chaos of Los Santos? Think about it, because your favorite era says a whole lot about what true freedom in gaming means to you. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and keep that curiosity fired up for whatever comes next.